Pokemon!
It's Druddigon!
It's
Jay's Thunder Dragon EVO! Oh, come on!
Hello everyone and welcome back to another TTV Reviews. This time we're taking a look at Ninjago Winter 2022. The set in question, Jay's Thunder Dragon EVO. This is set number 71760. This retails for $20 and has approximately 140 pieces. And you're going to see these on store shelves on January 1st. We want to first thank LEGO for sending us this set for review. However, just know that everything we say in this video are our own opinions and are not swayed by the fact that LEGO is awesome and sending us this set. So yeah, let's talk about Jay's Thunder Dragon EVO.
Oh boy. Okay. So, the EVOs are interesting. This is certainly no different. I'm not going to spoil my overall thoughts, but let's go ahead and start with maybe the color scheme.
Yeah, let's do color. Yeah.
What I said. Color scheme is a little peculiar. It trends. So, generally speaking, lighter colors are often used for younger sets. That's not a hard or fast rule. It isn't something that's, I think, generally understood, I suppose. But oftentimes, if you see a brighter color, it's going to be in a younger age range set. And this is not quite the case. It's a brighter set. The dragon itself doesn't contain any of Jay's traditional colors. It's a mixture of this dark azure, this pale yellow, and this dark blue. And Jay, as we can see in the set, is a kind of a medium blue, the pale yellow, which is, again, not a usual shade of yellow for him, and sand blue. And it just, I don't know, it makes the set seem like it's a younger age range than it actually is, and doesn't really feel like it's synchronized with Jay, whatsoever. It's not a bad color scheme, it's gold as well, and it has the trans yellow, which is somewhat a part of Jay's color scheme. So I won't say it's bad, but it definitely feels, honestly, like a Mega Constructs Pokemon than it does Jay from Ninjago's Dragon.
Yeah, it's in the same color family as Jay. So, of course, it's a Jay Dragon. It's yellow, it's blue. So, it's in the same family. But when you put them next to each other, it feels like there's a disconnect. I do like the usage of translucent yellow in this dragon. I think it does add to kind of like the lightning-y feeling. It feels like lightning is coming off of him. But other than that, I am not a fan of the blue they chose for the dragon. It feels like it's like almost pale compared to Jay. It's very weird. So it doesn't strike me as a like Eljay said, a more mature dragon. This does feel like it is very much a young, or it's made for a younger audience and whatnot. So.
So that aside, I do want to discuss the build.
Yes.
The build is rather straightforward. There's nothing terribly complex about this. And being an EVO set, this has, at least this one, it has two iterations. So the first one is called Companion Mode. And it's much smaller, it's shorter, it has no wings, it has a shorter tail, it has much less gold, and it's generally a smaller creature. I'm not a big fan of this mode. It feels incomplete. The next mode is Lightning Speed, and that is its final iteration. It gets elongated, it gets the wings, it gets more gold, the tail is finished. This is definitely the finalized model. There is no reason in my mind anyone would have this in companion mode. It just feels like you have an incomplete dragon.
Yeah.
This is done, and for what it is, it definitely feels like the youngest model of the wave that we were sent. Like, this feels like it was aimed for just below the 6+ range in a handful of ways. And I can't say that it's my favorite of anything that we have had thus far.
Yeah, it's definitely down there for the age that they are expecting. Now, it is a very sturdy build. The joints that are on the dragon are mixile joints, so they're not big and bulky. They're smaller for just articulation in a few areas, such as the claws or the what is this?
The ankle.
The ankle, the shoulder, the hips,
and the tail.
Oop, there goes a piece. but this, besides the fact that I just popped a piece off, this is a pretty sturdy dragon, I would say. I feel like, besides of course the piece that just popped off, you put it back on.
Yeah.
I feel like this dragon isn't gonna really shatter if it's played with. It definitely looks more like a play toy than, say, a decorative Ninjago dragon that we're quite used to.
Yes.
The functionality of EVO, I would assume, would be really nice in playtime. Say you want to have a story where you want your dragon to not be super powerful, but you want it to be super powerful in certain scenarios. So kids can have that story to go with and power up the dragon in those certain moments to really kind of, enjoy the thrill of the moment and whatnot. But like LJ said, if this is, if you're not interested in that sort of storyline, this is the version of the dragon that you're most likely going to keep. You're going to keep it as the entire time. Yeah. So one other thing I don't like about the build is that the bottom looks like to be just a long, 2 by, fill in the blank. There's a 2x6 in there and there's 2 2x4s. It kind of takes away from the body of the dragon. If you flip it upside down, it's just screaming kind of Lego. There's not really any combination of other
there's no
things,
contouring.
There's no contour to it, at least in the bottom.
The shaping of it is rather simple.
Mm-hmm.
The side, there is an attempt at the side, but it's just this add-on piece.
Yeah.
But I agree, the shaping is rather straightforward. What I'm not terribly fond of, so we've had 2 previous reviews discussing the new SCCBS, the System, Character, and Creature Building System pieces, which would be these limb parts. And they've been used on the 2 previous sets we've discussed on mechs, on humanoid mechs.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, in our next review, they're used on dragons. And unfortunately, I'm not super fond of their use in these dragons. I feel that on the back legs, while their implementation is certainly more unique, it is a tad limiting just because of the parts that were used. And on the front legs, they're a little too limber. They're too long and slim. And I feel like, honestly, it just kind of feels like a person that would otherwise be standing up is now on their 4s, trying to be a dragon. There's some head articulation, but it's static. It's just up and down, and the jaw does open up. Real quick aside, the head mold, which we do see in some other dragons, really nice, really cool head mold.
Yes.
But it just adds to this being a younger feeling set. Again, that shaping on the feet is especially not attractive, and it feels like a bit of a stiffer dragon, and not necessarily appealing perhaps to older builders. To younger builders, I can't imagine these are going to be terribly strong complaints, and there are good parts of this. It is a sturdy and a fun toy, which ultimately I suppose is the goal. It just feels a little bit like a step in a different direction for us, maybe not a positive direction. I hate to say not a positive direction. That
yeah, it's a different direction. It's not one that we're used to as older Ninjago fans.
Yeah.
We're always looking for how can Ninjago dragons just always up their game, and this is definitely not a up the game dragon, but I do think that for the purpose that it was created for, which is in this case looks like a play toy, a very, very very
rough and
standard
tumble.
rough and tumble play toy, it succeeds.
Yeah. It's just, it doesn't impress me terribly much, which I guess might just be an audience thing, but I can't say that I'm going to remember this fondly moving forward.
Yeah. So that's the dragon. You want to move on to minifigures?
Yes.
All right. So in this set, we have 2 minifigures. We have one of our familiar, new, updated, fill in the blank snake friends, for Ninjago is always a snake. This is Viper Flyer. So Viper Flyer appears, I think, in 2 sets in this wave. And what makes this little guy different is that you have a buildable sort of like helicopter sort of backpack on him. I'm not even sure how this works.
They're blades of some variety.
They do something and he flies. That is the goal with this guy. But again, we got a color scheme of orange and gunmetal, which works surprisingly well for this mold of Serpentine. I do like the chest print for this. It's very detailed and very cool. So big plus for Viper Flyer. Let's move on to Jay.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about Jay. This is the first time that we've seen Jay in these reviews. So let's talk about his suit.
Yes, so I quite like it. So I actually do like the pale yellow with the darker blue. I think that is a really cool color scheme. I like this blue more, and I like this kind of asymmetric design on the right side. You have more blue, you have that one design, that one, I don't really know what it is. It's a cube with some symbol in it. And on the other side, lightning bolt appearance. I do like that split. His pants are sand blue, but the print continues onto them. I actually think that's a really good look. And he does come with a hairpiece. It's his hair with the headband. He also has nunchucks, making him a rare ninja with his traditional weaponry, which is nice to see. But yeah, it's a J minifigure, and I like it. I definitely don't think it's the worst. It's really good.
I love the suit. I think the lightning kind of effect on the side is really smooth and really cool. I like how on the G, like it's outlined with that color kind of. It's very straight. It's not really like form fitting or kind of loose. It's very straight and jagged, which of course goes along with lightning. Meanwhile, I'm not so sure. I like the light yellow. What is this, sand yellow or what?
I've been calling it pale yellow.
Pale yellow. I'm not a huge fan of the pale yellow. I think that it may be like a shade darker, something that doesn't like border, almost like regular skin tone.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I like it.
It doesn't match his skin tone?
Exactly, because all the minifigures are yellow anyway. That is a differentiation, because if it were just straight yellow,
then it would
look like he has a glove and a no sleeve.
Yeah, and I guess this is a good compromise, because they could have gone with gold, but then he would have been the only ninja
with a
metallic or a gold kind of look. So it is a good compromise. I'm just not a huge fan of this color of yellow with blue, but that's just my personal taste. But yeah, the nunchucks are cool. It's a simple design, very classic. Not sure, we haven't really seen Jay with nunchucks in a while, so it's always nice to see him go back to his roots. So, but yeah, so that's the Jay minifigure.
And I think ultimately that's about all we can discuss. This is my least favorite EVO. I'll be quite honest. I think that it's definitely one of the... I think for what the EVOs could potentially live up to being, it is the weakest showcase of it. I think the other dragon we have to look at offers a little bit more in terms of size and scale. The mechs do a little bit more, at least pertaining to my interests. And to me, this just feels like a really awkward dragon, I suppose, which is a bit of a shame, considering that dragons are kind of Ninjago's thing for Lego. Like, you think Ninjago, you think dragons. So, not my taste. I'm sure it's someone's, and that's totally fine. It's aimed at different folks, but for me, it just isn't for me.
I feel like it's more of a lizard than it is a dragon. It's a lizard with little wings.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I can see that.
But yeah, it's not a set for me, for sure. But I think that for what, they probably aim to do, making a nice sturdy toy for kids, they succeeded. This is going to be a great play toy in playtime. It's more of a smaller dragon, so kids will have more fun with it than rather say buy a firstborn and they're breaking it every 2 minutes and they're like, oh, we gotta stop and we gotta fix the leg because the leg fell off or whatnot. This is going to be utilized very well in the imagination of kids. So I'm excited to see. So one last thing before we wrap up, I want to bring your attention to the instructions for like the first time ever, and I'll tell you why. The instructions now have a function. The function is that as you build the set, there is a story to be told that is found as illustrations throughout the building process. I'll see if I can flip to one right now. So as you build the dragon and you evolve the dragon, or you build minifigures and you start finding that you're telling a story of what's happening. So let's see here. Here is when you build the flag that goes on the dragon. It's like an evolution. You'll find these in almost all of the EVO sets. Is an illustration of Master Wu doning the dragon and Jay with like a power-up scroll. And that's what the dragon has on its back, as you can see right there. So you get little illustrations like these all throughout as you're building, which I think is phenomenal. It's a great idea. It keeps, the imagination evolved even throughout the building process, which is one of the most, the least creative part of our job when we purchased a Lego set, and now they added a little bit to it. So I think that is a smart move, and I'm excited for y'all to see them when you purchase any of the EVO sets. So,
Yep.
But yeah.
I'm all good.
We're all good. Well, thank you all for joining us today for the Jay's Thunder Dragon EVO. Again, this appears on store shelves on January 1st for $20, which I think is a good price point for this dragon.
Yeah, I guess. It to me, it's a little high, but
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's more for $15.
15?
set,
Fair enough.
That's just me.
But yeah, thank you for joining us. Until then, I've been Sensei Wolf.
I'm LJ.
And we'll catch you on the flip side. Hope you have a very ninja day.